Okay, this is how to repair a corner seam, an inside corner seam. So this is semi-gloss finish. Plaster joint compound doesn't stick very well because it's a slippery surface. So it tends to slide. So if I put joint compound on it, instead of gripping onto it, onto a flat primed surface, this is going to slide a bit. Excuse me. So it would be better for you to prime the surface in order that your joint compound sticks. But I know how to work the blade, and so I'm going to leave plaster on the wall rather than to drag it off, which if you're not experienced, you might do that. So that's why if I were you, I would prime the surface or scuff it up with sandpaper so that the plaster grips onto the wall when you slide your blade down. So this is how you're going to repair a corner seam. Anybody can do this. You're going to use a 6-inch taping knife. This blade gets into the corner. I'll show you how to do it. There's a lot of YouTube videos on how to do this, but it's nothing new. There's tons of videos about it. I'm just doing my own for my customers, and I had good teachers. All right. So I'm just going to put, I scraped the surface already down, and you get off any debris that might be in the way. Anything loose. And this is what I mean by sliding. Watch this. So you want the plaster to be on the left-hand side of the blade because this is the left. If you put plaster on the whole knife, watch what happens. You don't need plaster over here for this. So you only want to do one of these. Look, you do this. You get it on the left-hand side, all right? This way you're only running about 3 inches of joint compound down the corner. Just like that. And you keep pushing it back into the corner. You wipe it up. Because the more you build it out, the more problems you have. All right, now I'm putting it on the left-hand side because I'm going up in the opposite direction. All we're looking to do is put enough, what they call bedding. You want the paper on the joint tape, which is right here. I'll just show you. You want this paper. This is paper, and it's going to suck the water out of the joint compound and form a suction, a bond. If the compound is too dry, you're going to have bubbles underneath it. So what I mean by that is you have to press your tape into the wet compound. So you see how it's sliding? You see how it just slid there? So, as long as you get a good bedding in there, you're good. Now I'm putting it on the right-hand side of my blade because I'm going... See, I'm not a right-handed person, but I'm going to do it with my right hand. It's not easy. You just want to get enough compound in the corner. Most of this is going to come out, but for now, we're going to put as much as we need to get that paper to stick. See that? Okay, so you see how it's done. It's not very difficult. All right. So, put it in the corner here. Is there any way you could move this this television out of the way. I'll hold the camera. All right, so we got about 4 inches of joint compact on each side of this thing. Yeah, we need that corner freed up. See the crack at the top? We want to get that filled in as well. That's good enough. That's fine. All right, you just hold that, please. All right, so I'm going to just continue here. Okay. All right, now I'm ready to embed the tape. Okay, so this is how I do it. Where's my tape? I want to make a point so that the tape goes right into the corner. So you don't need the edges in the corner. It kind of gets bunched up in the corners. All you need is the point of it to be in that corner. It helps when you're trying to get the plaster, the mess cleaned up when you're putting your tape in. See how that fits in the corner? Now I'm just going to push it in. And I'm going to go all the way down. But if you don't put enough compound in the corner, tomorrow you'll come here and you'll say, oh, what happened? There's a bunch of bubbles in it. That's because you have paper on nothing. Better to put a little more than not enough. So I'm pushing it in there. Now we're ready to do business, okay? It's a little sloppy because the wall is uneven. This isn't new sheetrock, so sheetrock would be nice and neat. I'm now cleaning up the corners. I'm putting pressure on this side of the blade. You don't see it. But I'm putting less on here. I don't want to take all that compound out. But see how most of it's coming off here? It's barely touching the paper. I have it angled. I'm pushing all my weight on here. I'm just putting a little on the tape. You can tear the tape, you can bruise it. And plus, you want to leave the compound underneath the tape. You definitely don't want to leave any ridges here. A lot of sanding later on. You put the pressure on the end of the blade. Look at it, it smooths it out. It takes it off. That's the last place where you need joint compound, when you finish it off. Meaning like right now I'm finishing it off. That's the last place you want compound. Again, most of my pressure's on the right-hand side. If you watch closely, I'm only bringing the blade now into the corner on an angle. There's a reason for that. See how I'm bringing it now on an angle? I don't want to disturb the other side because it's already setting. If I bring it too close, then it's going to rub up against the adjacent corner side, and that's not what we want. So here's what I mean. Instead of going like this, get that in. I'm doing this. See the difference? I'll be hitting the side here, but here I'm not. I'm putting it on an angle, and I'm letting that side set. That's a big... Remember, there were a lot of ripples in this thing. We're going to make it up on the second and third coat. It was all broken paint. But we'll fix that on the second go around. It'll look perfect. Okay, that's the first coat, that's the embedding of the tape, and I'll see you on part 2.